All right, so another day, another working lunch. I'm trying to crush this steak real quick so then I can hopefully get some running in before I have to pick up my daughter from school. But right now, I'm really focusing on trying to get enough protein because I just feel like my body is just like I'm constantly craving steak, which I normally don't do. I'm constantly craving like high protein or anything that's protein. And I have to listen to my body. I've been tracking my macros a little bit, and I was only getting like 60 or 70 grams of calories a day, which is probably fine for most people. But with lifting and running how I am, I need a little bit more protein to like help with that recovery. So really focusing on the protein intake and then dietary fiber, man. I apparently do not get enough dietary fiber. So tracking my I'm not really like on a diet or anything like that. I'm not like restricting myself from anything. I'm just kind of eating what I want, and I'm um watching what I eat. Not watching what I eat, but just tracking what I'm eating. And subconsciously, it's actually making me eat a little bit healthier. I get to see like, oh, hey man, you went out and you ate 3 days in a row, you little fatty. So, maybe cut back on that. So right now I'm eating just some flat steak, and then I got 3/4 cups of white rice, and then some avocado for some nice healthy fat, some fiber, rice for carbs, and then we got our steak for protein. So trying to keep it as balanced as possible. Got to throw in some dark leafy greens and get some more vitamins. But hey, we'll cross that bridge when it's on freaking fire. Because right now, just not going out and eating and thinking about my diet a little bit more is better than nothing. But anyways, food is fuel, and if you feel like shit, you're gonna feel like shit. If you eat if you eat high energy food, you're gonna feel high energy, and that's one thing that I'm really focused, or like that's one thing that I'm probably gonna focus on as I'm getting into more like weightlifting and running, just because especially when I start running a lot, man, I can feel the soreness really building up, the inflammation really building up when I'm eating like shit. If I eat a bunch of ice cream, if I go out and run, like a long run, and I'm like, oh, I deserve some freaking ice cream, which, sometimes you got to give in. But if I go and do a long run, eat a bunch of ice cream and a bunch of sugar, man, the next day I will be inflamed as balls and it's just sore as shit. So that's definitely one thing that I'm going to start tracking and start looking at is like what makes my body feel the best and what makes me feel the best for these workouts because, it directly correlates pretty easily. And with the food log, you can really look back at what workouts you are. Like you can, on one screen or one side of your screen, you can have Strava up. And then on the other screen, you can have your macros up and just see how you felt based on the workouts and based on the food that you ate. So that's what I'm not really focusing on. So that's something that I'm focusing on a little bit um, as we move into this bigger buildup with lifting weights and running also. So trying to stuff this food in my face as quick as possible. I have something I have something rendering right now, so I have a little bit of time that I can get some food in and then prep for my run before I pick up my daughter. Today is going to be a fairly easy day. So it's Tuesday, and after the 16-mile long run and then that body weight workout, all those body weights, I was feeling pretty not run down, but tired. I haven't been getting good sleep. I haven't been recovering that long. I was going to do like a short, like re-entry run yesterday, but man, I was just so sore. I just did like a nice, easy walk. I lubed up the joints and, movement and motion is lube for your joints. So just did a little walk and that's basically it. I let my body recover, and today I feel so much like quite a bit better. Just giving giving my body a day of rest. Your body doesn't know what day of the week it is. Just because it's Monday doesn't mean it's like, well, time to fucking restart. You're good to go, man. Like you're all recovered. It's Monday. Well, if you ran your long run on Sunday, then you have to recover from your long run. unless you're specifically trying to like overload your fitness. So if you're doing back to backs, that makes sense. But if it's just the week's training, you have to also take into account like when your long run was, when your workout was. So always remember that like your body doesn't know. All it knows is the compounding stress that you're putting on it. So all the compounding stress that I put on it last week, and the week ended on Sunday for my workout week. So then I had to take a day to recover. And I let myself recover, and I'm feeling pretty good today. So I don't know why I went on that huge diatribe, but today's run is just going to be a pretty simple run, probably around 10 miles. I'll probably get around 10 to 12 miles. And then we're just going to do a simple run to do a re-entry into the new week of working out. So we'll do 10 to 12 miles and then hit those 4 times 5-minute surges, and then pretty much head back to the house. So the warm up will be around zone 2, zone 3 for the workout, and then the recovery in between each set or rep will be about 2 minutes, about 2 to 3 minutes, depending on how I feel. I like to either rest half the amount of time of working, or I'll do the same amount of time. So it'll be like 5 minutes on, 5 minutes off. I'll usually do the 5 minutes on, 5 minutes off when I'm just starting to do the workout. So depending on how I feel, I'll probably take around 5 minutes off, to be honest, because, who knows how I'm going to feel when I'm out there. But it'll be 5 minutes on, and then we'll get home and I will end up doing a leg workout. The leg workout is probably going to, to be honest, how the time's going right now, I'm probably going to have to do the leg workout later today. So I'll have to do like a warm up for my legs and the glutes and everything. But what I'm really looking for the leg workout is probably going to be start with deadlifts and then step ups. I'll probably do step ups. And then the floating workout is going to be back squats. We'll see how my hamstrings are feeling, because last time I did a bunch of back squats, my hamstrings cramped up just because of utilization issues, not really like dehydration or anything. For my back squat, for some reason, I put all the pressure into my hamstrings. So that kind of oh my God, somebody is blowing me up. That's kind of what triggered the whole glute activation thing. Is like I was doing back squats. I'm like, why is all this pressure going into my hamstrings? And why do I always cramp on hamstrings unless I ran like 10 miles and then I did back squats? It's because my technique sucks and I put all the pressure either in my quads or my hamstrings and not utilizing my glutes properly. So I'm really focusing on activating those glutes. So the back squats are going to be a floater. We'll do deadlifts, step ups, back squats as a floater to see how my legs actually feel. And then I'll probably do core after that. We'll see how the core is feeling. Last time I tried to do core, my abs were starting to freak the fuck out and started cramping because my asthma and breathing too hard, too much, too long for the day. I don't fucking know. It's intense. But let me crush this fucking food. I'm starting to ramble. My brain's getting all crazy because people keep calling me. And I had a very direct thing that I was going to say, but now it's all over the place. So let's crush this food. I'm going to finish some work and then we'll go out for the run. And I'm just going to run on my local trail that's like right outside my door. So I'll see you guys when we're up and ready to run. Hopefully it's not, 5 hours from now, which usually it is. I always say that. I'm like, oh, I'll be out on my run soon. I'm going to do a lunch run. I'm, eating while working, but then something usually pops up. So hopefully it's in an hour that I'm starting my run, but it might be in 5 hours or so. As expected, the run scheduling didn't work out, of course. It's after work now, almost exactly 4 hours, 5 hours. Let me cross this stream. But about 4 hours since I filmed that last clip, just talking about the day. So finally got onto the trail.
and just gonna do probably around 10 miles with some 5-minute upsurges after about 3 miles of warming up. So I was planning on getting my run in way earlier, but of course everything started breaking, and I had to fix a couple things on a couple YouTube videos and a couple clips that I was working on, which happens a lot. And then another very interesting thing happened that I'll get into, but let me cross this real quick. Sorry, I didn't want to talk about this with other people on the trail because they might think I'm a psycho. But when I was going to pick up my daughter from school, there was this car sitting at a green light, and I did a little short beep. Just like beep, like, hey, the light's green, you can go. And the guy in front of me freaked the fuck out. He was like going insane. I don't know if he was like messed up or drunk or something, but he started freaking out and started flashing this giant fucking knife at me. And then he broke checked me. I almost fucking slammed right into the back of him. And, you know, it was ridiculous. I put my head out my window and was like, hey, it was a green light. Didn't matter. I didn't swear at him. I didn't flip him off or anything. He was just freaking the fuck out because he's probably high on meth. Continued to flash the knife at me, trying to get me to pull over. And then he like stopped in the middle of the road. And, you know, this guy's a fucking idiot because I always carry a pistol with me. You know, just a habit from the military. Proper licensing, CCW, everything, whatever. Just something that I do. But, you know, I had my pistol on me. And also, if you get out of your vehicle with a knife, I'm gonna run your ass over and then secure this position. I'm not even gonna pull my gun out or anything. I'm gonna fucking run your ass over if you're coming at me with a knife. So, you know, he stopped, he pretended he was gonna get out, and then he just drove away. So that was a stupid situation. I don't know what's wrong with you people in the DC area, but I have never ran into like so many bad drivers or just genuinely unhinged people ever since I moved to DC. The amount of unhinged people in DC and the surrounding areas. I mean, I'm 20 minutes away from DC in a pretty nice area, and there's, you know, it's still leaking in. It was right outside my little community, and it's just like, why? I just don't understand it. So, if I could recommend anything, it is always be prepared. Always be prepared, no matter where you are. Prepare your family. And I'm not saying like be a prepper or you have to get a CCW or you have to do whatever. Just be ready for situations. Know what you're gonna do. If you don't want to run this guy over, you know, find your exit routes. You know where you're at. Don't get all crazy. Don't match their energy. Always. Don't ever try to match people's energy, especially in a car, because it's always heightened. But just be aware of the situation you are. Take a deep breath. Sorry. I keep passing people. So take a deep breath, stay calm, figure out the situation you're in, and just try to be safe, because that's all right. Sorry, I don't want to talk about knives and running people over and shooting people while I'm passing random people on the trail. So, yeah, just be prepared, be level-headed. That's the biggest thing. I mean, that's why special operations is so functional in their position. It's because they're constantly training in heat, so they can be calm and collected during high intense situations. This situation wasn't intense for me because I don't want to sound like an asshole or like a dick, but I knew exactly what I was going to do on every single situation that could have happened. He got out of his car, approached me with that knife. He was going to get ran over. If he had a gun, I know that he could take a couple pop shots, so that motherfucker was going to get shot. If he was just going to drive away, I'm going to let him drive away. If he was just going to hang out of his vehicle, I'm going to stay very calm, go around him, and then continue. Violence is always the last resort, but if there's violence, you have to fucking respond. So, I don't know, man. This area, UTC people, I don't know, you guys are a little crazy. You guys act like DC is such a huge city, like it's fucking New York City, and you have to be a dick to everybody. But DC isn't that big, and we're fucking in the metropolitan area where it's a bunch of kids in schools. So you don't have to be that crazy. You can be nice. I'll probably see that guy again. But let's get this warm up done, and then we'll check back in a little bit. All right, interval number 1, the first 5 minutes starts now. All right, first 5 minutes is done. So slowing down a little bit, maybe like zone 1 pace, recovery pace for the first like minute or so once I re-catch my breathing, and then I'll pump it back up to like lower zone 2, my regular pace. And that's just like kind of to simulate like a race where you'll be running regular, and then you have to like surge up a hill or work really hard for whatever reason, and then go right back into zone 2 to maintain that consistent pace. So that's what I'm kind of working on right now. I'm pretty tired, man. My hamstrings are pretty sore still from that long run, so we'll see how much actual lower body workout we can do, but we'll try to push it. That felt really good though. It felt like I was going really slow, but the pace didn't seem too bad. I'm not really focusing on a pace, just really focusing on a perceived effort. Like if I had to sprint, I should be able to sprint still, but I definitely am not being able to have like a conversation when I'm running, when I'm slipping into like zone 3. Breathing's a lot more labored, like you can get out a couple words at a time or like a really short sentence, but not like a full conversation. Full conversations like zone 1, zone 2, little sentences zone 3, and then just like it's like zone 4, zone 5. Those are like sprints. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna get this run done, get these intervals done, and then we'll do a little post-run talk. All right, let's go. We are at 9.55 miles in. Now we're 23 minutes in. I think I did that first and second iteration way too fast because the last one I was sucking. So, make sure that you're spreading the butter evenly, or spreading the peanut butter evenly, even when you're doing your intervals, because you want constant, if not building effort in your intervals, not burn out on the first 2. So now we're just on our cool down miles and just trying to make sure that we're not going too fast and getting the body ready to start shifting stimulus when we get into weightlifting. It's pretty crazy because it's already dark out. It's like only like 6 o'clock. So you might not even be able to see anything or hear anything, but whatever. I was gonna do this outro at the house, but I'll just do it now on the run. Basically the run went good. I mean, it was pretty consistent. Legs felt pretty tired, but I kept the effort constant and the leg turnover constant, or as much as possible. And that's what I was really looking for in this workout. I wish the intervals were increasing effort, but you know, it is what it is. I'll take it for what I got.
Run is done, and I just decided I'm going to skip the workout for today, for the leg workout for today, because my hammies are a little fried. So I don't want to push it. Once again, this is just the start of the buildup, and I'm just getting my body used to working out on a regular basis. I actually did kind of a small workout for the leg. No, actually, it wasn't a small workout. I don't even know what I'm saying. It was on Saturday or Sunday. I did pretty heavy deadlifts and squats and air squats. So the legs are still a little bit sore from that workout and from the long run. I felt a little bit of twinges when I was kind of pushing the pace on the intervals. So I'm not gonna push it just for like no reason and injure myself at the very beginning of the workout block. I'll skip today. I'll just do rehab. So I don't just like skip workouts. I kind of transition into more of a recovery, into a like maintenance kind of deal. So I'll take extra time on the foam roller, which I should definitely do more of. I got this little like vibrating ball that I can really get deep into the hamstrings and the quads and stuff like that, and my calves. And then I have those Nordic, they're the compression boots. I don't know if they're Nordic Track or who actually makes them. But I got a really good score on those in Facebook Marketplace for like a couple $100. So, you know, a Facebook Marketplace is the place to go for like running, like expensive running gear, because I got a lot of cool stuff for pretty cheap on Facebook Marketplace. So I'll sit in the boots, do a lot of recovery, maybe do a little bit of core, but you know, maybe I'll take you guys through that right now. But I don't know, man. I'm kind of fried today. I don't know. Fucking dealing with dumbasses and then everything breaking at work and then getting totally worked on that run. I don't know. My body and my mind just felt flat today. You got to get the work in, but as long as you get your main goals done, sometimes it's okay just to like, you know, fucking chill the fuck out. So that's what I'm going to do. I mean, can I really say that? I did do 11 miles total today with really good intervals. So I got some really good work in today. I mean, I'm just beating myself just because I'm being a little baby. I just freaking, I don't know, self-deprecating. I got 11 miles, average pace 8:59, moving time of 1 hour 38 minutes. So pretty good run. You know, it wasn't the fastest run ever. The intervals could have been a little bit more consistent, but hey, man, we got the work done. I guess I'll just leave you with this. Going back to what I was saying on the trail, you know, this is it's that whole situation with the guy in the car and the knife getting flashed and, you know, brake checking and all that crap. You know, it's just one of those things. It's just, I don't even know how to say this eloquently. I don't want to say Ultramarathon will help you in situations like that. But if you put yourself in the fire in a lot of non-threatening or like non-life-threatening ways, when situations like that arise, you're more likely to be able to deal with those situations. Like in the military, you train and it's non-lethal. I mean, you're not shooting real bullets. You're not like, you're acting like it. You're planning on it, but they're not real bullets. You know, they're blanks or they're sim rounds. You know, you're just training for that situation, and then you're working out really hard, and almost every single portion of your life is at high stress. So then when you're in a high stress situation, you kind of know it. You dip your toes in it, and then you can adapt, overcome, and deal with the mission at hand. And for normal people, including myself now, I mean, I'm a normal ass person. I've been out of the military longer than I was in the military. But now, how I find that fire, how I touch insanity is with ultramarathon, with working out, with pushing my body to the limit. So if situations like that happen, you can just easily breathe, maintain composure, and deal with the situation at hand instead of freaking out and overreacting. Because it's the same thing in a race, and this is a pretty loose comparison, I know. But if you're freaking out and going crazy during a run, then everything could fall apart and you're going to end up face down on the side of the trail, just fucking crying for some sodium, crying for some electrolytes instead of stopping and trying to figure it out. Like, exactly in Grindstone, during the last Grindstone 100, one of my crew, my crew missed a crucial freaking aid station where my feet were almost peeling off. I dropped all my nutrition on the last aid station, so I didn't have any nutrition. I didn't have a headlamp, and it was getting dark out, and I needed to change my shoes, and I didn't have that. So I had an additional 12 miles or 10 to 12 miles that I actually had to push, that I thought I was going to be able to do it. Now, if I freaked out and, got into a bad hole and just got all poopy about it, then that would have been the end of my race. But you take a breath, you figure out what's going on, you find the medic, he wraps up your feet, you find nice volunteers, nice workers. I think I was a nice pacer that I was able to borrow a headlamp. And, I took the situation for what it was, gathered what information I needed, gathered what equipment I needed, and I pushed forward. And now, that Grindstone 100 is one of my proudest 100-mile finishes because I was able to troubleshoot. I was able to deal with the pain in a very level-headed way. And that's how we should all live our life, is just level-headed, not being crazy, not being too freaking emotional. I could have fucking freaked the fuck out and, been all crazy, but hey, man, who the fuck cares? He probably has a terrible life, or just maybe have had a terrible fucking day. There's just terrible people out there. But is it going to affect my life? No, it's not going to fucking affect my life. I mean, if you came towards me, then it's going to affect both our lives because something's going to get taken care of. But no. No, I'm just being a dick right now. But once again, always keep your composure. Always get out there, chip away, become an average savage. Doesn't matter what shitty people are out in the world. Doesn't matter what's going on in the world. Doesn't matter if your legs are sore or tired. Make that shit fucking works. Make that shit fucking work. Chip away. Become an average savage every single fucking day.